Hello, this is Manjeet Kripalani, and we welcome you to the 33rd edition of Unfolding Geopolitics. With us today, we have Harsh Shringla, a former ambassador, former foreign secretary, and now the Rajya Sabha MP from Darjeeling, his home. He has been obviously campaigning for the Bengal elections in Bengal, and on behalf of the BJP, and with the BJP's win, he is going to play a very critical role. Bengal has been India's external face for many centuries, and finally it turned inward. It is finally going to be turning outward, and we have with us today Harsh Shringla. First, congratulations. And the most important thing is we've now got, for the first time in India, one party that is running all of East India. This has implications for India's foreign policy, particularly on the East. So I wanted to ask you, what are those? And what can we expect to see?
Well, thanks a lot, Manjeet, first of all, for having me on the program. You're right in saying that, for at least for Bengal, this is the first time in 50 years, I think it was last in 1976, that both the center and the state were in sync. Today, we have a historic situation where West Bengal finally has a government that can deliver, works for the people, and is in sync with the central government. And so a lot of decisions that impinge not only on, let's say, development in the state, but also, and as you mentioned, on our international relations, our neighborhood first, our Act East policy, will finally be able to, come into effect. I mean, one of the examples I can give you is on the river water sharing. There was so much resistance from Mamata Banerjee, not on substantive terms, but just for the sake of opposing anything that the center did, which would, I think, take our country forward. She had a lot of reticence on issues she could not understand, and she did not allow any progress on either the Ganges Water Treaty and its renewal, which is now expected at the end of the year, or on the Teesta river water sharing, or even on the plan to develop the Teesta basin in on the Bangladesh side of our border. But that's just one example. Border fencing, for example. I mean, we have a serious issue of infiltration, and North Bengal especially is very, very sensitive from a security standpoint. But despite that, I think she did not provide the land necessary for border fencing to be constructed, and I think that impeded our efforts to completely seal the border and to make us with fencing, make us better neighbors from that point of view. So there are many such examples, whether it is with Bangladesh or whether it is Nepal. I remember even initiatives in Nepal were blocked because of the attitude of the Trinamool government under Mamata Banerjee. But I think all this has changed. And don't forget Bhutan border also with Jaigaon and Phuntsholing. That border is also an important border. So Darjeeling constituency itself has 3 international borders. As we discussed the last time we met, with Nepal on the west, Bhutan on the east, and Bangladesh on the south. And if you go a little further north over Sikkim, you also come to the border with Tibet and China. So it is a very, very strategically important area, which gives a country access to our own northeastern region, but also I would say it is the crossroads of I would say international crossroads between India and a number of our neighbors, and I think that is the salience of North Bengal. So I would say a BJP government coming into Bengal with a full, I would say, plethora of developmental tools and resources at its disposal will not only change the face of Bengal, but will also change the way we work and cooperate with our immediate neighbors.
What are we doing? The BJP has said that they're going to within 45 days, the fencing work will begin and be in progress. What are the other things that are being done now to prepare this new outward-looking region. It's been so inward looking. What do we need to do to prepare them for the new world that awaits?
So I think one of the areas that the BJP manifesto focused on was development of logistics and infrastructure. So whether it's ports, highways, it is airports, railways, very strong infrastructure development that extends also to roads that are not national highways, PWD roads, the smaller roads, and that connectivity also has an impact. The development of Calcutta port, Haldia port, these are very, very important gateways, not only to Bangladesh and Myanmar, but rest of Southeast Asia. And for Nepal also, Calcutta port is the designated port for which all Nepal's imports and exports go through. So I think the development of logistics and the infrastructure will benefit all our neighbors, will stimulate trade and investment relations, economic relations with our neighbors. And from that perspective, I think will make a lot of difference. I mean, another idea that just came up, and I mentioned that in my press conference also just before the elections, was fisheries. West Bengal is a state that has an abundance of water. It has a coastline, it has rivers, it has lakes, but yet when you go to buy fish in the market, the fish has to be from Andhra Pradesh or Gujarat. West Bengal does not produce enough fish even to feed its own population. But there is a huge potential, 65,000 crores worth of marine products exports. So with investment in cold storage chains, with investments in marine processing, aquaculture, pisciculture, I think West Bengal can be a major contributing factor to seafood exports, across the world. And all of these developmental activities, I think, have a certain benefit even for our neighbors. One thing I omitted to mention in infrastructure was also the development of pipelines, transmission lines. These connectivity issues are not just in road and railway, but also in energy, in terms of high-speed internet. All of these areas, I think, can now come up very, very quickly, with West Bengal taking the lead as the gateway, not only to, as I said, to Northeast India, but the gateway to our neighbors across, our immediate area.
And do you think at the moment, till investors start feeling confident that the funding will come from the central government initially, and then maybe domestic funders, and finally foreign funders? Or is there already an interest from international investors?
Well, my own sense is that there's been a huge mismanagement of funds. We've seen a number of scams that have taken place in West Bengal, the Narada, Sarada, chit fund scams, the education scams, the Narega scam. I think all of that will have to be, overhauled. The entire system will have to be overhauled, and we have to make sure that the buck goes a much longer way. It goes where it should be going, which is to the people of Bengal. So if the finances available with the state of Bengal should be much better managed and streamlined. In addition to which, I think central government will have to infuse, at least in the initial period, a certain measure of funds that can enable rapid or accelerated economic development in line with the expectations of the people, but also to compensate for 50 years of the complete lack of development, especially in North Bengal. And of course, I've been speaking to certain interests. The Japanese were here recently at very senior levels. They had expressed a lot of interest that if circumstances are conducive for foreign investments, they would like to see Bengal, for example, which is part of their own. The first outreach that they have is to the east of India. They have an Act East forum that we share with Japan. They're very interested in investing in West Bengal. There are many other countries that would be interested in looking at the potentials that investor-friendly Bengal can offer. And I think there is going to be a huge difference in the way private investors, not just foreign direct investments, but investors, but also our own domestic industry will be looking at Bengal. After all, Bengal was one of the most industrialized states of India. Today is one of the least industrialized. It's gone from a state that people used to come to in search of employment, but it's now become a state where people have to go out of Bengal to find employment. So we have to reverse that trend. We have to reverse that tide and bring back industry, bring back manufacturing, bring back jobs, bring back the service sector, revitalize Bengal's economy.
And also, you have to bring back the talent that has been leaving Bengal for 50
Oh,
years.
absolutely. I mean, talent from Bengal is all over India now. Wherever you go, very, very bright Bengali minds are making that difference. And many of them, are too comfortable, may not want to go back. So we have to create the right conditions for them to get back and to get back and to be able to contribute in their own home area.
Harsh, thank you very much. This is very exciting. It's really the first idea about what we can do with our foreign policy with a new administration in place. So wishing you all the best. Doubtless you'll play a critical role and we'll be watching.
Thank you so much, Manjeet. It was great to be on your show. It was great to see you in Siliguri recently, and we look forward to being in close touch with you and the Gateway House. Thank you.